This is a demonstration on how to finger weave. You can finger weave with one finger or up to 4 fingers. This is an example of a finger weaving done with 4 fingers. If you do it with less fingers, then there will just be less links. Some people call it finger knitting. I like to call it finger weaving because that's how I was taught. And there are a couple of ways in how to approach this, but this is the way that I learned when I was in elementary school. So this is the way I'll teach you. So I always start out by telling the kids to get a really, really, really long piece of string, like maybe 5 or 6 arm spans. Or if no one else is using the skein of yarn, just keep it attached to the skein of yarn. So I start out with the end of the yarn here. And what I like to do at the very, very beginning is just put the yarn in between my thumb and pointer finger and just hold on to it for now. You only need about a finger length hanging over the edge. Then it's important to remember that when you are doing the next step, to keep this very loose and very gentle, because you're going to be winding this string around your 4 fingers, but be very careful that you are being very gentle. It should be nice and loose, okay? Now the next thing you're going to do is you're going to just take that same string and you're going to wrap it around the top. So let me show you how to do that one more time. So I like to take the end, stick it right in between my thumb and pointer finger just so I can hold on to it. Take the long string, and I'm starting by going in between these 2 fingers and wrapping it gently around. So I've got the loops here and then it goes around in the back, okay? Then you take your long string and just make it go all the way across the top. So now I call these my bottom loops because they're the loops on the bottom, and this is just a nice straight string across the top. So what you're going to do is you're going to take the bottom loops one at a time. I always like to start with the pinky. And you're going to gently lift that up, and then you're going to bend your finger down and stick it right into that loop, and then just smush it down. And then continue going down the line. Take the bottom loop, pick it up, bend your finger, and put it in. Bottom loop, pick it up, bend your finger, and put it in. And keep going. Bottom loop, pick it up, bend your finger, put it in. And then I always like to scrunch it down. So now at this point, you can take this little tail and kind of let it go. So you've got a couple of things going on. You've got your short string that's just always going to kind of hang out back here. And then you have your long string that's connected to the skein. Okay? And you're just going to keep going and repeat that motion over and over again. So I've got the long string, goes across the top, bottom loop, pick it up, bend my finger, put it in, and go all the way across the line. And then I always take my fingers and kind of scrunch it down, check the back. What I normally do is take both strings and kind of give it a little bit of a tug, making sure it's still nice and loose and gentle. You don't want to make your fingers purple. Go across the top, bottom loop, keep going all the way across. Now at first it doesn't end up looking like a whole lot, but once you get the hang of it and you just keep on going, you will get addicted because the results are really cool. Okay, I'm just going to go for a little bit here. Smush it down, give it a little tug every once in a while. Okay, after you continue with the same pattern, after a while, you can start seeing something's happening back here. You're creating this chain. So take that short end and give it a little tug, and you can start seeing your links in what you're creating. It's really cool. And I've seen kids make these into headbands or belts, necklaces, bracelets. I've even seen kids make a really, really, really long one, and then they double it up or quadruple or triple it up, and then they take a plastic needle and sew it together to make a really cool scarf. So I'm going to show you how to end this. All you do is cut your string. You're going to take the end you were weaving with, and you're going to stick it into your finger loops while it's still on your fingers. Okay, now once you have it through all of those, you can take those loops off of your fingers, and you're just going to pull, and that's going to create that nice tight knot for you. And there's your finger weaving. Have fun!